Let's use Piano Harmonizer MIDI Pro to harmonize the first couple of notes in the song, the Christmas song, Frosty the Snowman. And all you need to do is go up to your piano or your instrument and kind of pick those notes out. Pick out those single notes that are part of that song. You don't even have to know what the notes are, but just be able to recognize where they are on the keyboard. And I'm picking out these notes here. So if you can do that or fumble around with the keys and eventually kind of figure out what the notes are to a song, you can harmonize that song with beautiful chords with our app. Okay, let's get started. The first note in the song Frosty the Snowman is this note right here. You don't even have to know what note it is. Just know that it's this note here that's kind of in between this group of 3 black notes. It's this one right here. Just recognize where it is on the keyboard. The next step is to come over to the app and give it whatever information you know. In this case, we know what the melody note is. That note is a G. If you didn't know, if you knew something else or you knew additional information, like you knew the bass note, you give it that. But we're just going to tell it that we know what the melody note is. So we click on melody note, and here we have a picture of the keyboard, and you simply find that melody note that you played here within the app. We played this G. Now, if you were looking at some music and you couldn't even read music, you could just match the note up and say that's the picture of the note that's on the piece of sheet music, and that's the key signature that it looks like it's in. So you really don't have to have any knowledge about music to use this app and to come up with a beautiful chord progression that you can sit down later and play. So we're telling it that the first note in the song Frosty the Snowman matches this note here, the one that's between the set of 3 black keys, the G, and then we ask it what are the chord possibilities that we can use to chord that particular note G in the song Frosty the Snowman. So we say chords, and we get a list of chords. Now, no 2 musicians are going to come up with the same result. These are all possible chords that you can use to chord that first note in the song Frosty the Snowman. And if you want to hear the chord, just tap the chord. And if you have your iPad or your iPhone connected to a MIDI keyboard or a GarageBand, you can hear the chord. So here's the first chord, or one of the possible chords that you can choose to harmonize the first note in the song Frosty the Snowman. Let's hear it. Tap it again and it goes off. Say you don't like that one. You can try each one of these chords until you kind of figure out or hear the one that sounds good to you. This is a G11. That's a C major 9. This is an F major 11. So these are not those simple chords. These are pretty advanced chords. And here, okay, this is a C major 9 add 6. And when you find a chord that you think you want to use, just hold it down and it becomes part of your tag chords or the sequence that you're trying to create. So I like that one right there. Hold it down, and now that chord becomes part of my sequence that I'm going to create there. That's the first chord in the sequence. Now we're just going to go to the next note that's in the song Frosty the Snowman and repeat the process and see what we come up with. Okay, let's come back to our keyboard and see the next note that we're going to work with. We just did the G, Frost. The next one is this E, Frosty. So let's go over to the tool and find out what chord goes with that note. Okay, let's tell the app what the next note is. That is an E. Click melody. Tell it that it's an E. Just find a picture of that note as you played it on the keyboard that matches this one right here, and ask it what are the chords. That's the chord that you would play for T, Frosty. It's a G13 flat 9 sharp 5. That's a pretty advanced chord. Let's hear what that sounds. We only have one choice here because I have on the sampler database. Usually there's like 10 or 20 different possibilities. So this is delivered with the app, this particular database. So let's hear this one. That's a bit high. We need to bring it down an octave. That's good. We're going to use that chord right there. Let's add that. So we have 2 chords, Frosty, Frost. Okay, that's a C major 9 add 6, followed by a G13 flat 9 sharp 5. These chords that are in this app are beautiful advanced chords. You'll love them. Okay, let's come back to our keyboard and see what the next note is. The first one was Frosty. The next one is this note right here, the one before the group of 3. snowman. The next one's going to be this one here, and then that one. I won't come back to the keyboard shot. So these are the next notes that we need to harmonize for Frosty the Snowman. Okay, that next note was an F melody note. Let's hit melody note. Let's find that note that it looked like this one right here before the group of 3. What are the chords that we can use to harmonize on that? Hit chords. And again, we have a bunch of choices. Let me just pick the first one. It's really hard to make a bad choice here. This is a B flat major 9. Let's hear this one. Okay, let's add that one to our sequence. Hold it down. Let's hear what we have so far. We have 3 chords. C major 9, add 6. G13, flat 9, sharp 5, followed by B flat major 9. Let's hear this chord sequence. Beautiful. Let's move on. Okay, the next melody note is a G. That's one we already used. That was the first note in the song Frosty the Snowman. So G, tell it melody note, find the G, what it looks like. It looked like that note right here. Come over to chords. Let's go ahead and use, let's use the same chord that we used before. Let's use, I forgot which one we used before. I think that one, C major 9, add 6. Choose that one. What do we have so far? Okay, Frosty the Snow. Now we're on to the word man. Okay, that next melody note is the note C. Frosty the Snow Man. Let's find a picture of that here. Melody note C. That looks like this. And let's ask it what the chords are. Chords. And we've got lots of possibilities here for the word man. Here we can use an F major 9, add 6. There's a D minor 11. Let's just hear both of these. Let's listen. F major 9, add 6. I mean, they're both good. I mean, it's just kind of up to you what kind of flavor you want to add. Let's just go ahead and choose this F major 9, add 6. Let's add that one. Let's hear what we have so far. Beautiful. Let's listen to the complete harmonization. At least let's listen to what I came up with. You'll probably come up with something completely different. But these are the chords I picked that I like. You'll probably come up with something completely different. Let's take a listen. So after you've got it harmonized, you've got your chords. Now you can sit down and learn them and play it yourself on your instrument, and you've got something that's never been played before. It's uniquely yours. The other cool thing that I didn't tell you about that you can do is that after you've got your chord sequence, you've got the song harmonized, you can change the key. Change the key signature to any key that you want, and you'll have the chords in that key. It'll completely transpose everything. Say we wanted to move this to the key of D. Go back to our song, and the whole thing is transposed with the chords in that key. So that's a real cool thing that you can do with this app. And another thing is if you have that MIDI option, and you connect this up to your keyboard, you can play any sound you want. I just happen to like that organ sound. You can have it, whatever sound is inherent within your keyboard. Here's a kind of a piano sound. So whatever your instrument supports, you can use that sound to harmonize your favorite song.